You can go through the condenser to a receiver, down, this goes out the back, comes back, there's a solenoid valve on the back. What that goes to. Comes to the side glass, through our filter dryer, to these T's, and we have 2 TXVs, and we have a cap tube. So this is also a metering device. Depending on the length of the cap tube you buy, that's what BTU it is, or tonnage. These here you'll see right here. You can see that. Somebody step up here and take a look.
SPL 5.
SPO 5, so that means it's 5 ton. Versus this one down here,
Half ton.
it's half ton. So we can dial this in. We don't know what the tonnage of this is. I don't know what it is anyway, but we know this is 5 ton. We know this is half a ton. Half ton's how many BTUs?
6,000.
6,000. So if you look on a rooftop unit or a condenser for your house, you're gonna see in that model number, it's gonna say 18, it's gonna say 12, 18, 24, 36. Those are all multiples of 12. So you're gonna have 3 ton, 2 ton, 30 ton, 2.5 ton. So that's how you tell what size your condenser tonnage is. All right, so we're gonna open these. So what would you say these valves are used for? Multiple choice. Discharge hot gas, a liquid line, a suction line. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm one ahead. Valves 1, 2, and 3 are located in what part of the refrigerant system? Discharge hot gas, liquid line, suction line, external equalizer line. Liquid. We just traced it out, right? So it's liquid until we get to here. The purpose of these valves, 1, 2, and 3, are hand expansion valve, a throttling valve, isolation valve. Isolation? Okay. The refrigerant valves immediately downstream of valves 1 and 3 are identified as cap tubes, liquid line throttling valves, evaporator pressure regulating valves, or thermostatic expansion valves.
Thermostatic.
So we're talking about these two, right? Okay. Those are TXVs. The refrigerant valve immediately downstream of valve 2 is identified as liquid line throttling valve, evaporator pressure regulator, cap tube, or thermostatic expansion valve. Cap tube. That's this. The receiver is located in what part of the refrigerant system?
Over there. Oh, sorry.
Upper left. Don't put upper left. Your choices are discharge gas, liquid line, suction line. As we're coming out of the condenser, we've condensed to a liquid, leaving that condenser. Okay, the accumulator is located in what part of the refrigerant system? Discharge, liquid line, suction line.
Wouldn't it be
Suction. So we're leaving this one. We're leaving this one. This one's entering.
No, you had it right.
Both and
Leaving, going up.
We're going this way.
Yep.
Yeah, that line's so small, it doesn't look like. Yeah, so we're entering, going down, we're leaving right here, going to the accumulator. So the purpose of that is if there was any liquid, if this didn't boil off, it's gonna stay in there, and that liquid's gonna be down here, it's gonna continue to boil to a vapor and come back down and come back to our compressor, this line right here, as a vapor. That's what the accumulator's for. And you
It's
can
just to
also
protect
valve
the
these
compressor?
off. What's that?
To protect the compressor, that's what it serves for?
Yes, yes. Okay, what refrigerant is being used in the refrigeration system? This is the test I had when I did this. R502, R12, R22, R134A.
401A.
That's what I would say.
If you look on top, that's how you know, you still got the light on. On top of your TXV, it says refrigerant 12 on it. They never change the valves because the refrigerant is close to the same pressure, so they never change anything. But the refrigerant in there now is either MP39 or 401A. So it's right there. Not too hard to find. All right, so they're gonna ask you refrigerant temperature. Let's turn this thing on. I'll let it get going here. And you'll see these are about the same. They're not gonna change. In and out is not much difference. So they're going to ask you refrigerant temperature of the condenser in and out. So that's going to be which ones? These two? Okay. Refrigerant temperature of the evaporator in and out. This one?
The one on top.
Down below? Or this one?
Isn't that down below, just
This one.
coming from the
That's going back
accumulator?
to the compressor.
Coming
That
from
would
the,
be where you could get your superheat temperature.
Yep.
We tripped off. Okay. So refrigerant pressure. The condenser inlet. This here. Entering, just trace it back if you have any doubt. Just trace the lines back and figure it out. That's entering, back to this one. So obviously that one's leaving. So it's pretty self-explanatory there what you have to do.
You have to look at your chart. Find out what your saturation is, then you have to, where, right before the condenser, take a temperature reading there, subtract that from saturated, and then
There's a gauge.
that's how much.
Just subtract the section from the gauge reading on the
So
compressor.
anybody see what is happening here?
That's oil pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that.
I don't think they're asking us to find oil pressure, 'cause it's not here.
All of these.
Superheat.
They're not reading 0.
Well, the compressor tripped off. So what did it trip off on? What would you guess?
So,
Too much accumulation?
See how low that pressure is?
Yeah, low suction.
Low suction pressure.
There it goes.
There's a pressure switch in the back. So one of these valves is closed. So let's see if that one's closed, that one's closed, that one's closed.
Oh, there you go.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So 3 of them are closed.
All 3 are closed. So our compressor was pumping up here. When I felt that air, it really wasn't very hot. The compressor had nothing to compress, basically. So we'll open this one. Now, you watch these. Now you see it. Okay, it should stay on now. All right, so they're going to ask you the pressure difference between compressor discharge and condenser outlet pressure. This is compressor.
Discharge.
discharge,
Condenser.
And-
Inlet.
condenser outlet pressure.
It's the top one.
They're pretty close, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at, compressor and leaving condenser.
So with the evaporator fan off,
Yeah, we're gonna have the same problem.
yeah.
See compressor trip off.
Well, the compressor's not turned on.
Didn't trip off it. But shut up. That's the first thing they say on here is to go in, for the instructor to go in, turn this on, open this valve, and make sure it's all running right before one of you guys comes in to do it. Alright, so now what do we got? So we're a little higher, right? So the question they asked is, what causes the pressure difference? Friction, numerous direction changes, turbulence, or all of the above?
All the above.
Okay, the difference between the evaporator inlet pressure and evaporator outlet pressure. Is it very much?
Not that much.
Probably not. Usually isn't. So you can put down whatever you see.
Yeah, 2 pounds-ish. I think that's like
Same thing, what causes this pressure drop? Friction, turbulence,
All the
numerous
above.
direction changes, all the above. Okay, if the compressor, condenser, fan motor slows down or stops, what happens to the refrigerant system pressures?
What was the question?
If the condenser fan motor slows down or stops, what happens to the refrigerant system pressures?
Drops.
What
Decrease.
happens to the compressor amperage draw? And circle all the Y.
Decrease.
So
Go down.
we'll turn this down to low. Does the compressor discharge pressure decrease?
It's going. Increase. No.
Compressor discharge pressure increases? Yes. Compressor discharge pressure has no change.
Is that just because it's not getting rid of its heat?
Exactly. And it shouldn't trip off. Being on low. Yeah, we're not getting rid of enough heat, so that puts a load on this. And they'll put an amp clamp on here because this ammeter doesn't work. I like to put a digital on here so you can watch. This is rated for, so many good eyes see what that says. That's one of the questions. What is the
7.4.
That's what the compressor is rated for. So when we turn this off and this starts climbing up here, you'll probably see this go to 8. So it's going to ask you the amperage increases. It does because you're making it work harder. Compressor suction pressure decreases.
Suction increases.
Let's turn it back.
Stays the same.
Well. Anyway.
Stay relatively the same. Give it a minute. This is going to come down, this is going to come down, that's going to come down. You should see everything should come down, everything should go up. So you should see. If I turn this back below, so what do we got over here? 50 or something like that?
Out.
55.
45? You won't see the suction side go up as quick as you see this side. That's what you want to answer. Both go up, both go down. I turn it off. Yeah. Is it moving? Oh yeah. That one's moving. Is that one? No.
There it
I'd say
goes.
it dropped.
It's increasing a little bit.
It'll increase a little. You turn it up too late. So it tripped off on high pressure. There you heard it back on. Alright, so compressor suction pressure decreases, compressor suction pressure increases, or it has no change. It should go up. Okay, if the evaporator fan slows down or stops, what happens to refrigerant pressures? What happens to the compressor and draw? What would you guess?
Compressor.
If I don't have any refrigerant, I'm not pulling any heat out of the air, I'm not making this work as hard, right? So it should decrease. So that's not so we have no air going through there now. You'll see what happens here. See what's happening here.
Accumulator has a lot more boiling.
What do you see?
The accumulator has a lot more boiling up now. It's all getting, it's all hotter already.
Because we got liquid going through here in and coming out because we got no fan going. We have no low line. What about our pressures? What happened? Dropping, as did the high side, right? That's what I say. Both are gonna go up and down.
So the amp draw would go down.
It's gonna go. Yeah, you'll see that.
Yeah, it went up less.
It's not even moving now. I don't know if that works or not. We'll put a clamp on there and you'll see it. It'll drop. Okay, so can you frost it? Yeah. We'll start frosting all the way over here. There's ice forming in there right now. So why do we get the ice?
Subcooling too far.
Well, we have liquid in there, but why is there ice on the outside?
Condensation.
From what?
Ambient.
The air, the humidity in the air. We'll let it frost up a little bit. Okay, so they're going to ask you the compressor amperage. You can just read it off that digital. They're going to ask you the line voltage supply, and that's right here, AC volts. You should fill in the blank on your test. It's all right there. What's the oil level that needs to be maintained in the compressor, according to the manufacturer? What does it say on the yellow tag?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
There's also one there too.
Center of glass.
So half the side glass.
That's usually what it is, right?
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
the side glass is
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah. All right, so now see we got the frost going. That's not good for the compressor. We're not frosted all the way back here. But watch, as soon as we turn on the fan, watch that pipe over there.
Yeah.
pressure up. There it goes. That's melted. The valve still got frost.
But the accumulator's not moving here.
Yeah. It's still got frost on it, but it should clear off. See, we're still way lower than what we were running. We were running around 40 or 45. We don't really have that much load in this room. It's not that warm. There it goes. It's gone down there. The valve's gone.
So what's the purpose of that other reservoir? Just to catch liquid before going in?
It's catching the oil.
The oil.
So this valve is closed now. So as this separates and the oil goes down here, we would open this up. That's already open. Okay, so it's all gone. So once we got that up there, so R12 and MP39 is about the same pressure and temperature, 32 pounds, 32 degrees. So you saw we were put down 30, so we were below freezing point when we were down that low. That's why we frosted over from the moisture here. All right, so we got our oil level. This refrigerant piping line to the compressor is the largest line. Everybody agree on what? Suction. That's this one right here. Okay, which piping line to the compressor is the coldest to the touch? If you're not sure, come over and feel it. Suction is going to be the cold. Discharge is the hot. That's about all you have to do.